Nice.
I'll just wait for them to flood in here.
You send it out to Tara?
Yeah. I know they're having problems at the hotel there, so
That's crazy. I feel like winter's just kind of shifted a few months. Like, when I was a kid, it was November, December, January, February, March, it was starting to get warm. And now it's like, I remember playing golf in a t-shirt in January, even this year and last year. It's crazy.
What's up, Tara?
Good evening, Tara. You guys have power? I'm going to take it as yes.
Yeah. Yep. I remember diving into their live earlier today, and they finally had TV. That's crazy. I remember going on vacation. I think we went to the Mount Pocono Camel Resort in PA.
Yep.
And the hotel that we booked, it was nothing like the pictures at all. It smelled like cigarette smoke. It was dirty. There was no pool. Like, there was just this little like kiddie pool.
Okay.
And it's we're not staying here. So we lost the money for that and found a better hotel. So I had guys going on 2 streams, and it was full on. Oh boy. Echo chamber. What's up, Chris?
Because you're up. Where are you at?
Me?
Yeah.
Upstate New York.
Upstate New York. Because I'm originally from New Jersey. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So Poconos was, that was just a short hop, skip, and a jump. So.
Right. Jersey and New York City, I guess, had a 4.8 magnitude earthquake. So.
Yeah. My mom reached out to my little sister. They said they didn't feel it.
Really?
Yeah. So I don't know what part. I didn't look to see what part of Jersey was really hit. I'm from more South Jersey. So, but she said they didn't feel it, and they own their own business, and it's a cement statuary, garden furniture type business. So they're outside. If they, if it happened, they would have felt it. So it wasn't in that area. So.
Gotcha. What's up, Brewer?
Mr. Mike? How many miles today?
Yeah, so
or in Ks, Mike. How many Ks? Did you do your two 5Ks is what I saw online, I think.
So we got a lot of runners in the bearded community. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I just started running again. I ran my whole life.
Okay.
I started running when I started running 5 milers when I was 5.
Wow.
And then when I joined the Army when I was 19, I think, 19 years old, and
right.
I was 6 foot, 130 pounds. Yeah, I mean, I was a runner. I ran cross country, winter track, spring track, my whole life. That's all I did. And then I joined the Army, and I couldn't barely do push-ups, but I could run. I could beat every single person running. That was easy.
Right.
So.
Yeah, definitely. So
first one this morning, got another one to do tonight. Keep at it. What's the date for that event again? Isn't it May? I think Mike's event is in May.
Okay. Now, is that like a running event, or
it's it's a ruck march? I think he's got to have 35 pounds, and it's kind of a last man standing. Go until you 5K every hour on the hour, May 18th. So they do 5K every hour on the hour until you're the last person standing.
Wow, that's crazy.
So yeah, it can get a lot of miles real quick. So So I gave him some. I've done a couple long ones. I've done a couple full marathon rucks. So the key really right now is to do more weight than you're going to do in the event. So that when the event time comes, if you do 45 pounds now and you only have to carry 35 is going to feel light.
Gotcha.
And then to pack extra socks, shirts, because last thing you want to do is keep rucking in sweaty clothes. It's just going to chafe and be miserable. And then the last thing is to carry like a kit to fix. Like I always carry like a little sewing kit with like braided fishing line, so that if a strap breaks, you can stitch it back up and it's going to hold, right? Because again, last thing you want to do is be into a 5K and a strap break on your pack. That would suck.
So he said the event is 30 and he's training with 45. So yeah, that's reverse psychology right there.
Yeah. 30 will feel like an empty backpack.
Gotcha.
So
yeah, thanks for that mustache. Looks awesome.
Yeah.
So let's talk about how we even got to this point to even being live here with Louis here. So it was True North seems to really bring bearded community members together.
Yeah.
And it was that live that kind of sparked my idea. Actually, it sparked my idea a little before the live, but then I, wanted to come full circle with it. To actually do it because you had just won the 2024 Mustache Champion that was held online. I don't know exactly by who.
Zeus Beard is the company that held the event, all online. So Sockeye. So I'm Louis. I go by Jumpmaster EDC, and I go by Jumpmaster EDC because I was in the Army for 21 years, and I was a Jumpmaster in the Army. So I was kicking people out of airplanes for a good portion of that, and so I went with Jumpmaster EDC because my online presence in this kind of spatial was custom pocket knives and everyday carry stuff. And then I really kind of got into beards and mustaches and wet shaving. And I already had the title and I just wasn't changing my name. So across all my social media platforms, it's just Jumpmaster EDC _ EDC.
Yep. Which that's kind of what I had for my notes here is Mustache Edition starring Louis, aka underscore EDC. I had sent Louis this script actually really, really short notice because I was out for pretty much most of the afternoon here. I don't really get a lot of free time away from work. So on my days off, it's pretty much catch up on chores, appointments, and anything that I couldn't do during the work week because I'm going on 4 weeks of having straight overtime.
And I was out most of the day too. A friend, a church friend of ours who he just passed away. He was 88, so I don't feel like he lived a full life, but he just passed away on April the 1st. They had his celebration of life at the church today, so we went to do that and pay our respects for him, and then run a couple errands for my kids, and then I kind of came home, and for some reason I woke up at 3:30 in the morning this morning, wide awake. And so then I came home and took a quick nap.
Gotcha. All right, Brewer, have a good one.
Have a good one, Mike.
Speaking of dinner, I know this is a little off topic here, and we'll get into the first topic after this. But speaking of dinner, we were trying to figure out where to go for dinner tonight, and I wanted to try a new pizza joint, but we've been having a lot of pizza over the last probably like 2 weeks. So it's
Can you have too much pizza though?
No is the short answer, but when you have acid reflux, it can get tricky. So.
Yeah, I can 100%.
So we went to Chili's when it first came into the area.
Okay.
And we weren't really a fan of it. So we looked at the menu real quick, and now this was like another split decision, like it's the U-turn. If that wasn't going to be it, Red Robin's right next door. So we looked at the menu, it's like, all right, we'll give it another shot, and it was really good, and it was definitely worth the second shot, and we signed up for the reward system so that way,
Don't they have like unlimited fries or something? What do they have? They have some crazy. If I remember,
Red Robin has the endless sides and drinks.
That's it. Yeah, endless sides. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't eat dinner. I tend to I eat usually 1 to 2 meals a day. I had Chick-fil-A for lunch today.
Uh-huh.
And then I splurged on a Reese's Blizzard from Dairy Queen with extra Reese's. So
yeah.
So I'm that's probably enough. I mean, I might have a snack later on, but
yeah, I'm guilty for late night snacking myself.
Yeah, happens. Broccoli.
It depends on how the broccoli's cooked.
Yeah, like I'll do the steamable ones. I take the pack and throw it in the microwave. I just ain't eating raw broccoli.
Yeah,
Nothing
I've
against
seen
that,
it.
Tara. I gotta have like that's a side to me. I gotta have like, protein.
Yes,
Protein.
yep, gotta have the protein. So, first topic is what's been up and what we do for a living currently.
So what's been up? Um, so I'll kind of just hit it all in one. So what do I do? I'm fully retired. I'm 44. I'll be 45 in July. I did 21 years in the Army. I retired in 2020. And, people tell me that I'll get bored. And for those people, I tell them you just need some hobbies.
Yep,
If you're just going to sit on the couch and watch TV all day, you'll 100% get bored. But I play a lot of golf. Once it warms up, I'll be out. I'll play 4 to 5 times a week. I travel a lot. My mom lives in Florida and she's got a huge house. So anytime I want to travel to Florida, which I actually am taking my kids down to Florida next week for spring break, I can travel down to Florida. I have 2 kids, 2 young boys. Well, one teenage boy and one younger boy, 15 and 7. And I have them every other week, Friday to Friday. And so this was actually the perfect asking for me for a show because they went to their mother's house today. So I have tonight through technically next Friday, but we're leaving on Thursday, free of children. So that's kind of what I do, who I am, and kind of what I've been up to.
yep, awesome. Um,
What's going on,
so
Chris?
yeah, what's up, Chris? Yeah, exactly. Definitely thank you for your service. I have the
Appreciate
utmost respect for people who have served our country and played a massive role on the freedom that we have today.
100%.
There's a couple different occasions where I was this close to doing it, but there was always a girl involved. So, you know,
And it's not for everyone. It's not for the faint of heart. It's not for everyone. It's not easy. And then I always tell people, like, I meet a lot of people that are like, oh, I only did 4 years or only did this many years. The army or the military in general can't have everyone, and they can't have everyone do 20 years. Like, we need the people that come in and do 3 or 4 years, the midterm ones that do 6, 8, 10, some that do like 12, and then we need the lifers, the 20s, the 25s, the 30 plus. That's just kind of how the nature of almost any environment is. Like, you need those different levels.
right, right. Yep, I'm wearing the new shirt, Chris.
Oh,
Looking
it is a
pretty.
nice shirt. I love that logo.
Yeah, it's
But
so
I'm
cool.
preferable to skulls. So
Right.
anything with skulls on it, I mean, that's this whole
Yeah,
arm is done in skulls. So I mean,
that's
so,
pretty cool.
yeah.
So I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory what's been up with me. It's just work, 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 and basically what I do is I'm a shift manager. I'm supposed to be training to be an assistant store manager at the truck stop Burger King in Nichols, but I don't really know what's been going on with that. I do miss being a delivery driver. I was a delivery driver for Amazon, and things kind of kicked the bucket when incidents happened to my knowledge. I didn't know anything about it until months after. So I pretty much made the decision that I wasn't watching a BS 10-minute training video that I spent 8 hours watching training videos for something that I already know, and for stipulations that you laid out to deliver packages that I followed for me just to be taken off the schedule because I didn't deliver the way that I was supposed to. So
You got me covered, Chris. When you guys get him in, I'm not worried. You guys know where I live.
his nephew is a lifer, active duty. Yeah, some people just can't stay away. It's just it's not quote unquote married to the job. It's just that's all you know. Like so
It
that's
is. I mean, you think about it when you join, like me, like I said, when me, I joined at 19. Some people join at 17. You get their parents to sign off, join at 17, and do 20 years. and you're 37, that's all you've ever done. Maybe you held, a fast food job or a waiter job or something as a teenager, but that's all you know.
Right.
There are a lot of career fields that, transfer over into this, quote unquote civilian sector, but
Yeah.
you become comfortable, right? Comfort sometimes is a killer. But the other
Yeah.
thing is, if I'd have transferred out, would I be here at 44 years old and I've been retired for 4 years? So May 1st will be 4 years that I've been retired, right? Would I be retired at the age of 44 if I gotten out at 10 years? Probably, probably not. I mean,
Right.
you
Right.
never know, but I mean, the opportunities and then the places that I've been and seen, good and bad, just places I would have never ever gotten to. And I've been to most countries in Asia and Southeast Asia. I've been to most countries within the Middle East, a lot of countries within Africa. I've been to a lot of the states, lived in places like Hawaii. It's crazy. It's crazy the things that I've seen and done and had the opportunity to see and do.
Right. Right. Um, so again, 2024 Mustache Champion.
Yep.
Um, the story of that. So you obviously used to have like a full on beard.
Yeah, so I grew when I retired. There was a 3-4 month period before my retirement ceremony, and I grew a beard. And then my retirement ceremony, I think a couple days ago, I posted yesterday or the day before. I posted in my stories of me with my mom. That was at my retirement ceremony. That was like the day after I had just shaved off a 3-4 month beard, and then the day after that, I grew a beard for about 10 months. Got tired of straightening. I have very, very curly hair, and I have OCD, and for me, like I'd have to run a heated brush or a comb through it 3-4 times a day, and I just got tired of it. So then I shaved that off. Went about a year with just kind of like this, just like stubble, and then was like, let's go again. Let's try it again. And so I grew a beard for 11. I started in September, and then this past August, so September of 2022, and this past August I cut it off straight down to just a mustache, and I had trimmed it a couple times along the way. So the last time I had cut all around, because I really like my beard to kind of have that square shape at the bottom. So I cut all the roundness off of it. I like that look, but again, I just didn't want the upkeep, because I also always styled a handlebar mustache with my beard. So I'm styling a handlebar and then training a beard every day just became too much for me.
Got
Once I shaved off the beard and went mustache, um, the amount of people that compliment me on just a mustache, I didn't get that with a beard. And going to beard and mustache competitions, the one thing that I kind of got from like across the board is you'll know your facial hair style when people compliment you on it all the time. And I was like,
right.
well, then mustache must be it, because there's not a single day that I don't get a wow, that's amazing from both kids to men to older women, younger women. It's crazy. Crazy.
Yeah, definitely. I get
So I can grow, I mean, I can grow a full beard. Because some people are
yeah,
like, oh, you can only grow a mustache. You don't know about beard products because you only. I'm like, I had a beard. I choose to only have a mustache.
right,
You
right.
know?
So what was the preparation for you to in this competition? Did it take much or is it just you already were used to
I didn't even know about the competition. The company actually reached out to me. They messaged me and they were like, "Hey, we're holding a competition. We saw one of your profile pictures. Would you like to enter? All you have to do is send us, a couple pictures and we'll choose one." So I just went back the last like month or two and found one of my best styled pictures, and sent it in. Now the thing with online competitions are tough because they're not really judged. They're judged by your peers, right? So it's your
right,
ability to get people from your account to vote for you. And so as soon as I started seeing the what we'll call the competition, right? So the biggest person on there for me was his name's Bob or Robert. Baker, and he goes by Bob, and then his mustache is called Elliot Norris. His mustache, and that's for a combo between. He named his mustache for a combo between Sam Elliott and Chuck Norris. So that's where Elliot Norris, his mustache, comes from. He has the biggest mustaches I've ever seen. After nationals, Bob cut off 6 inches off of each side of his mustache and still had 6 inches of mustache on each side. His mustache doesn't stop. It was, I think, he actually competed in the world's longest mustache chain and the world's longest beard chain, because as long as you had, I think, 8 inches of facial hair from any portion of your face, you could be in the beard longest chain, Guinness longest chain. So he's in the Guinness World Record longest chain, beard chain, for his mustache too. So I say all that because he has, I think on Instagram, he has like 30,000 or 50,000 followers, right? So that when you start seeing someone like that, one, has just an amazing mustache, and two, just has a following that's unreal. I was
Right.
like, oh, I'll probably make it into the final four, because I do have confidence in, the symmetry in my mustache and the styling ability. But when you look at some of those other mustaches that are just massive,
Right.
you get a little nervous. And so, but he got popped out in, I don't know if I think the final eight. I think he got popped out, and then I was like, oh, I actually have a chance. I actually have a chance at this. And I just I thought I picked a good picture. My kind of persona when I compete in competitions is a full suit, three-piece suit with a tie, and then I usually do a fancy knot. One knot that I prefer on my tie is called an Eldridge knot, so it actually kind of weaves upon itself. So I dress up and style up. It's not supposed to affect, but you can't not tell me the way you look doesn't affect judging, right? So
Yes, and I said this in past videos when my beard was at 10 inches. Um, when you start getting some
hey,
transparency,
pasta, Matt.
color matters with
100%.
everything, as far as like if I
100%.
was white with a 10-inch beard, you're gonna notice
Oh,
every
absolutely.
flaw that.
Angles, lighting, the way you stand, the way, especially taking pictures, like,
Yep,
yeah, all that stuff matters 100%. Same thing in the mustache room. Like, if I start fanning this out and I stand a certain way, you'll start seeing light through the fan of the tail of my mustache. So yeah, it's all you learn all that stuff real quick. Some cinematography, tricks to make you look the way you want it to be perceived to other people.
right, exactly. Um, and as far as the last thing was just winning the competition, like the feeling of I can't believe that just happened type of thing. Like, how was winning? Like, what
I
was the
mean, who you can't like, it's not about winning. Like, it's never, I never go into something and saying that, I want to win, I want to do, I just like to compete, right? But then you can't, on the other side of that, you can't say that it doesn't feel good to win, right? Like, no one competes in something saying they want to lose, right?
exactly?
So I think more so for me, it hit home the day after I won, because I went to my 7-year-old is in second grade, and I went to his class to pick him up, and I walked into the class, and the teacher was like, "So I heard you won a mustache competition today," and that's when it hit me, because it it hit enough for my son to tell his teacher that his dad won a mustache competition. So before that, it was just kind of cool, but at that point, it really became kind of surreal.
Gotcha. So, all right, Chris has got to run. Got to eat dinner with the missus. Thanks for stopping in.
Chris, you don't even have to ask that. You know that I jump in on all as many of the true norths as possible, and I will definitely be in there this evening.
Right. Most of the time when they go live, I'm at work, so I'll stop in for a bit.
Yeah,
Always on the Instagram lives when I can, unless obviously I'm working.
yep.
Uh, 'cause,
But the YouTube ones, for those of you that haven't hopped in a YouTube True North, especially towards the end of the live, it's just a good, like, we just have fun. It's just a good time.
Yeah. So what's in beard tonight? Or in your case, mustache.
Mustache. So a lot of times I take my wax out every day just for the health of it. Yesterday I had a good styling day. So if I have a really good styling day or I really like how it's styled, I'll push it to 2 days, max 3 days. So yesterday I put in Copper John's Walden Pond. It's their scent of the month for last month. I put
Okay.
Beard Balm in and then followed it up. They don't make their scent of the month yet in waxes, so I followed it up with their Mountain River wax.
Gotcha.
So that's what I have in today. But what I will use tonight to strip it out will be True North Ultra Tester number 2.
Okay.
And I'll just go into because I know the kind of know the script. Into my second is the next thing you're going to ask me is my favorite True North scent is
Yeah.
and I have, I don't know, 20 butters. I think, I don't know. Gratitude is my favorite, and that's what'll go in tonight. So after this, when I strip out, I will use Ultra Tester number 2 and Gratitude. And for those that don't know, I love Gratitude so much. It's a seasonal scent that I bought a second butter and second oil just because I didn't want to run out, because it is my favorite scent. So
Gotcha.
they have tons, and I love a lot of their scents. But if I had to pick one,
Yeah.
so good. Gratitude.
So let's catch up on the comments here. What's up, Angel? Hassan? No, this isn't a facial hair appreciation society. I do lives with random people. I just started doing lives again, just to kind of get more people out in the bearded community that may have just started, or to just to have a good time, kick off the weekend, on some positive notes, and just to hang out and have a
Yeah.
good time.
Yeah, just
Um,
have a community of people that either like or enjoy facial hairs and talk
yeah,
about it. If you got questions that we can answer,
mhm,
whether it's beard or mustache related, throw a question in the comment.
absolutely. So I actually had Deer Hunter beard oil in this morning with the chat butter,
Okay.
and I was very
You
surprised.
mentioned it. So your thoughts on it.
I like it. I really do. I'm a big leather scent guy, and it kind of reminds me of Leatherhead,
Okay.
but without the blackberry.
Okay.
It has
So
like a similar smell,
first concert.
but not exactly. Like it has its own twist to it, but I enjoy it. I like I said, I love leather scents. The wife's not really a fan of it. She says it smells like if you were to pull out a Christmas tree that's been sitting in the closet.
So I'll be honest, like it's I bought it more for the nostalgia of, like, I was there when this all went down in the chats. I
Right.
don't get it. I don't really get any leather.
Really?
I get that. So I was stationed in El Paso, Texas, which is basically like the desert right above Juarez, Mexico. I get that smell. Like, I get dust. I get that dust. That's what I like. Like that deserty dust smell. That's what I get out of it.
Gotcha.
But everyone perceives scent. Scent is so subjective, and how your nostrils. But when it says like dusty, whatever, I forget, something dusty, like that's what I smell. Like I smell that kind of deserty dust, old west dust kind of scent. Chris
Yeah.
asked, "What is my first concert?" I think I saw that somewhere. First concert. It's one of two, and I just can't remember which one came first. I went and saw the Beach Boys when I was a kid with my dad, which is awesome as a young boy who loved seeing women in bikinis, because that's all that was. It was the Beach Boys on stage and a whole bunch of girls in bikinis.
Right.
or it was one of those one of those like boy bands, and then the female singer Tiffany, redheaded kind of bombshell female singer, and one of those like 5 thing boy band type things. So it was either one of those. I think it was the Beach Boys was probably my first concert.
Right. Interesting. Yeah. I think the only one I actually been to was Red Jumpsuit Apparatus before they got famous.
I don't even.
So they're like a metal band, but
Okay.
it was like a demo concert.
Now, if you're going to ask me like favorite concert, I would say one of two. I saw Leonard Skinner and AC/DC together twice. And then in like summer 2000, I saw it was out in North Carolina when I was stationed there. It was Korn, Kid Rock, Power Man 5000, System of a Down, and Metallica. All 5 of them at one show at an outside venue. It was amazing. Amazing. So
Be very careful with them.
So that's what I had in this morning, and then I just stripping wash the Badass Beard Care their stripping wash, which is like a
okay.
eucalyptus and mint. And then
I love that combo.
yeah,
I love
it's
eucalyptus. They go together so well.
they do. It's kind of like a breath of fresh air, really.
Metallica is so good live. They're so good anything. They're so good anything.
So and then I just slapped in Deer Hunter oil again, and this is actually going to go into my favorite current scent is Haddonfield butter.
That's right. I think I saw a post that you had posted, and that's a new scent for you.
Yep, it is.
So
I've
then I
never
got to
used
ask
that
the
before.
question then, before Haddonfield, since that's a new scent, what was your favorite before that? Ooh.
My automatic instinct is lumberjack.
Then that's the one you go, because you gotta go off instinct.
Yeah. So until Haddonfield is definitely my favorite tobacco scent to date. It was actually Tombstone from Live Bearded was my favorite tobacco.
Okay.
But then Haddonfield has something special about it. It's got like that campfire smoke smell to it.
Nice.
And it smells so good. So that's current, but like before Haddonfield, it was lumberjack.
Okay.
Because like after a stressful long day at work or like you're sweating or something like that, it's just something kind of like a pine sol lemon type scent, but it doesn't have like that, that cleaning type of smell.
Right,
It's just
right.
something refreshing to put in.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Must have grooming tools. What is in the
Oh
art?
man. Oh, crap. Well, blow dryer, right?
Yep.
To melt wax and to melt it as you're combing it through, especially some of the really, really stronger waxes. Some lighter waxes you can get away with no heat. Some medium waxes, it's a toss up. But if you don't heat it enough, you'll end up yanking hairs out. And that, not that it hurts more the fact that, an inch long hair takes anywhere from a month to 2 months to grow back, maybe more depending on your growth rate. But what I tell everyone, like especially starting mustache, is a boar's hair brush to start training your hairs from the moment that you decide that you're going to grow a mustache. If you want a handlebar, any style, I mean, even if you want a chevron, like a cop style mustache, you can use this to start training it the moment you make that decision. And then 2 different combs, a fine tooth comb and a more wider tooth comb. So like this will allow me, even when wax I have in there, to not yank hairs. This one I would have to heat up first and then comb through. So blow dryer, boar's hair brush, and a couple different combs would be key for me in the mustache realm. In the beard realm, it was a Chicago comb number 8, I believe, is the big kind of that big one. That was my kind of go-to in the beard realm, was to have a Chicago comb, which I still have, is my Chicago comb number 8.
Yep, I have 3 of them, and I have the pick, which is the wide tooth one.
Yep.
Because my facial hair is very like curly and like thick in this area especially, so I have to have the wide tooth. Otherwise, it feels like I'm just tearing. And then I have the one with a handle. That's the wide tooth as well.
Okay. Yep.
So those are my go-tos. I don't really do bristle brush. More along the lines of like a very, very short beard, that I feel like that comes more into play.
I used a lot, and so I use a round brush too. That's probably something that's key. It really helps. But I used a round brush a lot too with my beard, doing kind of blow dryer and round brush from underneath to really kind of force a straighter or curled under kind of look, and give that perceived fuller look. So round brush probably in there as well.
I do have one of those. The only one I could find though was from Boss Man Brands.
You can get any one like Amazon. I don't.
I guess I didn't.
Any girl, the girls aisle in any convenience or any store got round brushes. They're known for, girls use round brushes like crazy.
I guess as long as they have them soft tips on them, like you don't want nothing that's gonna.
Yeah, I don't like the almost like boar's bristle round brushes. I like the ones with the plastic thing with the little round soft nub at the end. So there's plenty of space in between that you're not yanking or tugging out hairs, for sure.
So yep, we went over what's in beard, must have grooming tools, current favorite, true north scent. How about 3 companies on your radar that you haven't tried yet?
I don't know if I have 3. The one right now that is next for me to try, I think, is Top Hat Beard Co. out of Canada.
Okay.
And I've been talking to them, and I think that's probably the next thing that I want to try. They have a kind of an old-fashioned scent, but it's based around like a pink grapefruit as the citrus. So that kind of intrigues me. It's tough because I've tried most of the other ones that I really want to. One that it's not on most people's radar. I just got it because they sent it to me. So I'm into wet shaving now. And I've started collecting a lot of soaps, and there's a company called Gentleman's Nod that I got a soap from, and this soap smells kind of like pear and like a tea, like almost like a black tea.
Okay.
And when I bought that, he was like, "Hey, I'd really like to send you my beard oil. It's new. I've just reformulated it, and so I'm kind of giving his beard oil a try."
Okay.
It's in that same scent. It's probably like a medium viscosity. I'm not sure if I'm sold on the pump top. I really do like dropper, but I'm just used to droppers.
Right.
But it's got meadow foam. It's got emu oil in there. It's got saline, black currant seed oil. It's got a lot of top, higher end oils in there. So that's something that's not on most people's radar. But that company's very well known in the shave soap community. So Gentleman's Nod. But out of stuff that I haven't tried, probably Top Hat is probably next on my list.
Gotcha.
How about for yourself?
What's up, Ricks? So Top Hat for sure. I was actually talking to him last night and early this morning about a bunch of stuff.
Yep.
And I don't know. I'm on the fence. I keep looking, and then I like steer away, and then I look again for Dr. Nick's Amazing Man stuff.
You can't go wrong with Dr. Nick's.
His
you can't.
the bottles intrigue me. I'm not gonna lie.
I love the bottles. So I've got 2 of their catch trays. See if I can pull it out without that Jacob Jacked Up Leather did. So I got the first one that he did. That was a prototype that was given away. I won the lotto for it, and it holds the oil and the butter.
Okay.
And then because I'm into knives and EDC stuff, I've got his catch-all tray.
Oh, that's cool.
I met Nick at Nationals. Just a super cool dude, and we talked mustaches for a while. Yeah, I love his bottles. He's another one, kind of like Gratitude. I bought extra. He had a seasonal scent, peppermint bark. So it's got that peppermint and kind of chocolate scent, and so I bought 4 of them. I've already this one's almost done, but I'll use it like in my hair instead of conditioner. I'll throw a couple drops and just massage it into my scalp. Yeah, you can't go wrong with Dr. Nick's. That's a solid oil, solid company. I definitely 100% recommend them.
So
Their butter's crazy too. It's
really?
not like True North, so it's not super smooth. It
Mhm.
is gritty, but it will all emulsify down. That's just kind of how, because I think they might use unrefined is maybe why it has. I can't remember why it's, but mango butter, shea butter, avocado butter, aloe butter, sunflower oil, sow butter. So many different butters. Sweet almond, jojoba oil, argan oil, barrage, and marula oil.
Yeah, the barrage and marula oil definitely intrigued me, along with the aloe and avocado butter that I've not seen at all in anyone's blend besides them.
So I'll take, like, if I'm feeling like extra dehydrated in my mustache, my go-to, I don't know if you've tried Magic City.
I have,
You
but
didn't
I'll
like
be
it?
honest, I wasn't I got a sample from them.
This is the CBD version. I don't know if you this is the CBD version. I only have the CBD. So I'll use the CBD version followed up with, I don't have their butter, followed up by Dr. Nick's. Like if I'm feeling like super dehydrated, that's kind of my like, oh, I need a little extra help. That's kind of my go-to combination. But like bird oil doesn't work for everyone, and neither does CBD. Like everyone's mustache. I think because I typically live my life a little on the dehydrated side, my mustache soaks in, and because of that, those properties, my mustache just eats it up, and the next day, like it feels amazing. So
Right.
yeah.
Makes sense. So again, I didn't come up with 3 either. Those are just 2 that, kind of
It's
keep
hard because I've
popping up.
tried so many, I mean, I've tried so many companies, from Freeborn to shit,
Yep.
I don't know.
Like Freeborn, by the way. I do
Yeah,
like them.
yeah. To Dead Man's,
Dead Man's good too.
yeah. To, like I said, the Copper Johns, Doctor. Like at least most of the big name ones I've tried. I mean, obviously my largest butter and oil collection is True North. That's by not even by a little bit, like by
Yeah.
leaps and bounds. Because
Yeah.
no one can no one can hold a torch to the scent combinations and the double drops that True North does every other week. There's nobody
Right.
doing that.
Nope.
There's nobody else that's doing, not with 2 people either. You know what I mean? There's companies
Right.
that have
Yeah.
a, a buttload of people that don't do that many combinations, that many scent drops. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
There's nobody in the beer game that's doing what they're doing,
No,
and that's
not at
okay.
all.
Like we don't
Yeah.
need companies to do
Nope.
that,
Nope. That's their kind of thing. They make super ultra smooth butters, and they have scents, and they continue to drop more every other week. Like you can't. Uh, it's crazy. I gotta
But
smell. I gotta smell gratitude again.
Honeyhocker, I've heard of them as long as Fetty says. Nothing that I don't take away any, thing from any companies out there, but something really has to stand out for me to be like, whoa,
Yeah. Yeah.
So that goes right hand in hand with the next topic is 2 recommendations or at least one for the other party to try. And I think you already said one already.
Yeah. So, well, I'll do two different categories, right? So I'll do a kind of more like traditional beard product one, and I'll do more of a mustache category. So if you're going to do a mustache, a handlebar mustache, the main thing is not cutting the center hairs, right? That's what wax is for. So most people are like, "Oh, it's hanging in my mouth. I've got to cut it." You can, and there's no right or wrong, but I would suggest using heat, a brush, and wax to. I mean, if I pull these center hairs down, they come down below my bottom lip, right? But I just wax them out of the way, and that's what gives you thickness as you come down, especially as you get through here to your what's considered the tail of your mustache. Kind of like True North is kind of like the staple in like butters, and you can't Death Grip wax. They've got 4 different strengths of wax. So there's tons of good waxes out there, but Death Grip kind of holds the mark. They're number 1 wax on Amazon. They go to a lot of the beard comps. They were a host at Nationals, and they have 4 different strengths of wax, from a medium hold to like a medium strong, and two different extra strongs. And the reason you kind of need those different flavors is because of humidity and temperature in different locations. What works where they're at in Colorado when it's cold a lot of the time is not what's going to work in like southern Florida or southern California or parts of Texas where it's high humidity. You need different ratios of wax to oils to really kind of bring that up. So Death Grip is it's my go-to wax, number 1 wax, and then a second wax company that I really like, and this is probably my favorite scented wax, is a company called BSC Enterprise. It's Brett Krismer. He's a much more smaller named. So that's his logo. But I'm a sweeter scented guy, and this is one that he did in collab with a guy called Lonnie, or Donut Duster Lonnie, on Instagram. And the flavor scent is caramel mocha latte. And it's a very similar, if someone smelt True North's Texas pecan pie, it goes like kind of hand in hand with that. So in the wax realm, Death Grip, I always tell people start off with Sudden Death. That's kind of like their middle line utilitarian wax, and then you can go up or down from there. Or Brett Krismer's, you can't go wrong with either two. And then for oils and butters, True North, and Dr. Nick's. Yeah, I mean, yeah, just you can't go wrong with a lot of companies, but if I was forced to pick 2 in those 2 different categories, Death Grip and BSC, True North, and Dr. Nick's.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you tried a lot. So I mean, I'll try to recommend 2. Maybe you haven't. I'm gonna guess. You ever try 5 Boroughs Grooming?
I haven't.
Okay, so maybe I maybe I got.
I gotta guess New York.
Yes,
For
actually,
the 5 boroughs of New York.
Long Island, New York. He's out of. And one of my favorite scents from him, and it was in my grabbing reach, is Miami Vice.
What's the profile?
So the profile of this is grapefruit, pear, blue musk, amber, apple, rum, vanilla, orange, and pineapple.
That's a huge. It sounds amazing, but that's a big scent profile.
It is, and it's. Let me take a pull off of this real quick. So it reminds me of like a summer breezy type coastal sand, type
Oh,
of.
I like the profile. So I'll put you on the spot. Does Does it have the carrier oils listed on the bottle?
Sure does.
What's it got?
It has jojoba oil, sweet almond oil, apricot oil, castor, vitamin E, and then the fragrance.
Okay, so I'd say it's kind of like on that normal spectrum with the added of castor, which is going to give it a little bit more viscosity,
Right.
Which I kind of like because if for mustaches it holds in place. Yeah, nice. That might be one I got to check out. It's Miami what? Miami Vice.
Miami Vice, and they're one of the few companies that do the 1 ounce butters.
Is that really 1 ounce?
That is a 1 ounce butter.
Wow, that's hard to see because it almost looks like a that's a 2 ounce butter. Like that almost looks the same. Wow. Okay.
And the shea butter, and I think the difference between the oil here. Yep, the butters have emu in it too.
Apple fritter wax, the closest I would have. Well, yeah. So that one was I'm talking Matty Storm. He said caramel mocha latte was that one. This one is labeled Dutch oven from Brett Krismer, and it is it's like an apple Dutch oven pie. So you kind of get that apple and cinnamon for Maddie, who's good. I mean, there's something about putting in like a sweet scented wax that just stays, and that scent not overpowering, but it just stays all day. Like so, rub it a little bit. Oh yeah, you put a hurting on that.
Yeah, I've used.
I mean, it says that you like it.
Yeah, it has like a body to it, but it emulsifies really quickly as well.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried Detroit grooming?
Yeah. I don't know if I have their. I don't think I only have their. It's in my medicine cabinet. I think I only have their butter. Like is it like orange and lavender? I think scented one. But to me, their butter is more like I don't want to say it's just not a whip. Like I'm used to butters being whipped butters, and their butter is more like a oily butter, like a balmish butter, it's not whipped. I used that. It was between some of the first two companies that I really after Beard Brand, the first two kind of more small artisan ones were Beard Octane and Detroit Grooming. Those were kind of the two first into the more artisan makers that I got. So yeah, it's a good.
That's another one.
I don't know that one.
West
Mobico? I don't know that one.
So this was actually one of the third beard company I think I've ever tried.
Okay.
And I won a giveaway of their sun dropping scent, but this one is called Noel, and it's pine, peppermint, eucalyptus, and tea tree.
That's nice.
And they're bird oil users, so it's got the emu in it.
Now that we're starting to talk, so it refreshes my mind. Another company that I think that is kind of on my radar to try would be the EDC Beard Co. or something like that. Only because they're starting to like put out some EDC items as well, and so that kind of intrigues me that they're kind of crossing the boundaries of both the beard world and the EDC world. So that's another company that's probably on my radar to give it a try. Oh yeah, there you go.
It's very smooth and creamy.
See, I prefer that, and like same like. I don't consider a butter if it has any form of wax in it. If it has wax in there, like Detroit Grooming, has wax in there, so I consider it more like a balm, but without any real hold properties. But for me to be a true hydrating butter, it can't have wax in it.
Right.
So I really like the whipped, those really creamy whipped butters. Dr. Nick's is kind of the exception to the rule because I tend to not like gritty stuff, but I look over the grittiness for the properties that I feel in stash, right? Sometimes you gotta go with what the mustache likes.
Right. The last topic before we get into the last subject, which is kind of like a quick rattle off game here.
Yeah.
Is the long-term goal for what you got for your main up in here?
I think like I trim a lot. I'm a huge proponent in trimming, right? So same with my beard. Like I'm not a huge thing. Like if it starts having transparent, and nothing against anyone's rituals, I'm talking just solely on me. Like when I start to see transparency, or like in the instance of a mustache, is when the ends start getting only like one or two hairs. What they'll do is they'll go from me holding a curve to that end really kind of tucking in, and so I will cut all that off. And I take 10,000 milligrams of biotin every day, along with collagen, which reminds me I'm out and I got to go pick some more up. And like I'll notice I'll trim my mustache one day, and like 3 days later, I've got a hair that's longer than it was 3 days ago. Right. And so that it might only be an eighth of an inch longer, but it's that one hair that's sticking up an eighth of an inch. So I'll trim that off. So I say all that. I think I'm very close to terminal length. I don't get much longer than this. I have started growing out. So for competition wise, you can come out from the corners of your mouth about 3/4 of an inch, no more than that. You can't come out, and you can't have any other facial hair. You can have sideburns, but you can't come out any further than 3/4 of an inch. And so when I first started competing, I just figured I had to stop at the corner. So I had to start kind of letting some of this support hair kind of grow in and give me some extra, a little extra length, a little bit extra width, because what man doesn't want extra length and width? And but I think I'm very close to my real kind of mustache potential at this point. So
Gotcha.
would I love to have it longer? Oh yeah, if I could just continue to let it grow. Oh, I'd grow it ginormous. I'd do these giant, like almost eyeglass loops if I could, but this is about what I kind of have. We all can only have uh what our God-given talent at this point.
Right, right. Yeah, I mean, for me, I was kind of trying out the short beard, for a while. I've had, my whole goal was length all last year and a little before that. And I kind of missed the long beard a lot. And my wife was sad when I trimmed it up to about 3 inches. It was hitting almost 11 before I, decided to hit it down. But it was getting kind of like wispy at the bottom, and obviously there was transparency.
Yep.
So I guess I've decided that I'm not doing any more trims for the rest of this year and kind of seeing how it goes.
So no trims at all? Which
Now,
is just my question. Like, so like if you
yeah.
have one side it grows a little bit longer, or like, no even little touch ups. That's what.
So I always have awkward stages. I'm in
Yeah.
one right now, and that's because there's not enough weight in my beard that it curls. It dips like this.
Have you
But once
trimmed a
it,
lot of this underneath and you're letting some of that neckline grow back in? No. Okay. Yeah.
no, I had already done like 2 trims already this
Okay.
year. Um, but I think depending on how next year rolls around, I might like trim the stragglers, go to
Yeah.
my barber and just trim the stragglers, but like I want to
I'm a
keep the
big
length.
thing in like that whole yeared thing. I still think that you can have a yeared with minor trims, like just some evening here and out. Like you cut inch or 2 or 3 inches, then yeah, that really kind of, for me in the personal terminology, kind of negates that yeared type thing. But I, I've kind of been a proponent of, you can do a little bit of shaping and a little bit of touch up just to keep it kind of neat and tamed, with it still being in the category of a yeared. Right. So that's kind of my aspect of it. I do want to hit up one thing real quick. Matt said, I can't get past the smell of wax. Is it like just plain wax, or have you tried some scented ones? Because companies like BSC, another company, It's probably in my other bathroom. I have an unopened one. Cows, like this one smells kind of like sugar plums, kind of fruity, a little bit of peppermint, vanilla. There are some scented ones that don't smell like beeswax. Your death grip ones are all unscented, so they are all going to smell like wax. But BSC has ones like that caramel mocha latte. Let me double check. I get caramel and I get mocha. Like I don't get a wax smell. So I've had both. It's the waxy smell like a candle. Yeah, and everyone's sniffer picks up different scents. So yeah, that sucks because I mean I love a styled beard with a styled mustache. That was my my thing. Right? And those are categories when you compete, right? You can go styled or you can go unstyled. So
a lot of people don't like the smell of those not unscented the word is in my mind unrefined butters because of that natural earthy smell.
yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah, and like every company, typically sources their stuff from a different maker or whatever. So everyone's butters are gonna smell, or how much ratio to another oil or butter. They're all gonna have slightly different scents. But if that wax, even through some scented waxes, if that waxy smell still pops through, yeah, I've used I've actually no, I didn't. I had it in hair yesterday. I don't really. I used to use it in beard, the organic pomade and the clay. I still have it. I use it from time to time. Um, yeah, I don't mind it. I don't. But I've only ever used the organic pomade and the clay pomade. So
yeah, I've heard of Johnny Slicks, but
he was he was in the Marines. He got out. He's a vet. Um, he kind of learned from watching his videos and whatnot. He has a huge head of hair, and he started losing his hair from using like store bought shampoos and stuff. And so he kind of learned what he needed and what didn't work or shouldn't be used on your skin and scalp. Right? So
it's the only stuff that I've ever used, and that's the Boss Man brand's hair and beard pomade.
okay.
I don't recommend putting that in your beard, though. Just FYI.
Yeah.
There's certain things that they say hair and beard, but honestly, I don't recommend it going in your.
I'll go vice versa. Like I'll take beard stuff and put it in my hair. But
Oh,
if there's something that's made just for hair,
yeah,
the
that
only thing that I've ever really put in my mustache that really, I won't say it shouldn't be used in there. I've only done it a couple times just to try it out. Elmer's glue stick. It's kind of a trick of the trade if you really want some hold in your mustache, but that would really only be like competition wise. And I've never done it in a competition. I just tried it a couple times just to see. But it is kind of organic. I mean, they say you could eat it and not get sick, right? So I mean, but the kids Elmer glue sticks, that's what they're kind of meant for. But I wouldn't recommend putting it in all the time. But yeah, I mean, I have taken that glue stick and just kind of pasted it on just to see it. It holds like crazy. Just want to be something I did every day.
right.
I've heard luxurious bastards, Joshua. I haven't tried them, but I have tried, or I have heard of them for sure. But I sit in most of Dan C's pot, Mondays and Wednesdays, Ken's on Sundays. Sometimes, oh God, what's my Jersey boy that does the Tuesday show?
Hey, Cruz.
Jay Cruz is on Tuesdays from time to time. So I mean, it's hard to not sit in all those different shows and not at least hear about a brand.
Right. Last on the list here is just a would you rather game, and I had to kind of work my way around that because I don't like to steal anything from other content creators because I know
Yeah.
Dan C does the
Yeah.
this or that. So I was like, well, how can I word this around? Like, so I just like, would you rather? And that I
Okay.
know kind of stealing because I know
Yeah.
there's board game or something out there that's,
Yeah.
but it is what it is. So,
Yep.
3 questions: thick goatee or handlebar mustache?
Handlebar.
Handlebar.
Yeah. I mean, I grew a goatee when I was a kid, but I mean, I would rather a full beard over just a goatee personally. But out of those two choices, handlebar. That's an easy one for me.
For me, it's the thick goatee because that's just my strong suit there. So,
Now, so now I got to hit you with, and I didn't know this until I started competing. That as long as you put a gap between where your beard is and your sideburns, then that's considered a goatee when you compete.
okay.
Yeah. So you could kind of almost have the best of both worlds and just kind of gap your hair a little bit. So
Hmm,
it's crazy until you start competing at some of these larger competitions, how they actually judge or word how that category is judged.
interesting.
Yeah.
Next one here is boneless wings or baby back ribs.
This is way harder than the last question. Um, is it? Would you say boneless wings?
Yep,
Oh, never mind. It's not hard anymore. Ribs. I'm not a
ribs.
big boneless wing. That's like nuggets to me. Now, if it
Yeah,
was chicken wings, like bone in, then I'd have to go bone in because I love me some good hot wings. But boneless, I'm going ribs all day.
gotcha. For me, that's I love both.
You hold on a second, Matt. You can't get past the smell of Johnny Slicks. It does kind of have. I don't know what the word I want to use, like an oily kind of smell, maybe.
Hmm,
But performance wise, it works really good in hair as a pomade. So
gotcha. I'm definitely going baby back ribs too. I mean,
okay.
if I had to choose between those two, I love myself a good pair of good rack of ribs there.
Yeah. Now, do you
Can't-
like a dry rub or do you like more like a barbecue wet kind of
I enjoy both, but if I'm gonna dry rub,
dry rub? I think I'm the opposite. I think I eat both, but if I could only have one, I think I'd prefer a wet sauce. I
yeah.
think that's a tough.
Last question is TikTok or Instagram?
Instagram.
Yep, same here.
Yeah,
I mean,
Instagram.
I'll pop on TikTok and watch like some of the gamers on there.
Yeah, I mean, I have an account. I only created an account just to cross platforms, but I mean,
Yeah,
I only recently started that. Chris, we'll see you guys over there in a few.
yep,
Um, yeah, I only just kind of maybe started recently because it's just to reach a different crowd, right? But if I had to get rid of one, I'd get rid of TikTok and keep yeah, it's easy.
what I use mostly of is Instagram. I don't even do Facebook unless it's family stuff.
Yeah,
So
that's I have my knife groups, but I don't cross my beard stuff into face group. I've got Facebook. I've got my some of my knife companies that are more solely on Facebook, and then family stuff, and then there's really hardly any family stuff that I do on Instagram. That's more knife and facial hair related.
right, right. But yeah, just in the nick of time. I'm glad we started early because I don't think that could have been any more.
Nah, we'd have to
than-
rush through.
right.
So anyone that's still left, I recommend hop over to the True North Beard Co. Tara will be live from their hotel room from the snowstorm that they hopped away from.
Yep.
So.
But
well, brother, I appreciate you having me on. It was really nice to get to, besides just our kind of chatting back and forth through. It was great to have a live face to face, because I mean, this is really what it's about, these live in-person kind of, or semi in-person conversations, and you get to know somebody so much better that way.
Right, exactly. So I guess I'll see you on the flip side.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll chat with you later, man.
All right.
All right, brother.